Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie, and today I'm going to teach you how to make this adorable crochet ghost just in time for Halloween. To get started, you're going to need some yarn. I'm using Bernat Blanket Yarn in white, a 6mm crochet hook. I have my stitch marker, my yarn needle and scissors, and two 14mm safety eyes. To get started, we're going to begin with a magic circle. To make a magic circle, you're going to take your yarn, wrap it around your pointer and your middle finger, make an X. You're going to insert your hook underneath that first strand of yarn and grab your second and pull it underneath. Next, you're going to yarn over and pull through. There's your magic circle. Next, we're going to do 8 single crochets into our magic circle. To make a single crochet, you're going to insert your hook into the loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Repeat that 7 more times to finish your 8 single crochets. Now that we've completed our 8 single crochets, we're going to grab our tail here and just gently pull to close that circle. For our next round, we're going to do 8 increase stitches. To do an increase stitch, you're going to insert your hook into that first stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and insert again into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1 increase. I'm going to add my stitch marker just into that first stitch of our increase so we can mark the beginning of our round. We're going to repeat this increase all the way around for a total of 16. So again, we're going to insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert into the same stitch again, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And here's your 16 stitches. For our next round, we're going to do a repeat pattern of 1 single crochet and 1 increase around for a total of 24. To make this pattern, you're going to go to your first stitch, you're going to do a single crochet. So we insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert my stitch marker there. And in your next stitch, you're going to do the increase. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And into the same stitch again, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. You're going to repeat that pattern all the way around again for a total of 24. For your next 5 rounds, you're going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 24 per round. I'm going to work this off camera and I'll come back when I've completed my 5 rounds. Okay, so here's my completed 5 rounds of single crochets. Starting to get the good head shape for our ghost. Our next round, we're going to add our little arms to the ghost. So we're going to start with 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In our next 3 stitches, we will be working in the front loop only. So remember, there's the front loop and the back loop. So you're going to insert just into this front loop, and our next stitch is going to be 1 single crochet. So insert that into the front loop only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. In our next stitch, front loop only, will be 2 half double crochets. To make the half double crochet, you're going to yarn over first, then insert your hook into that front loop only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. We're going to repeat that again. So yarn over, insert into that front loop only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. And in our next stitch, we will do the front loop only single crochet, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Then we will be crocheting 6 single crochets in our next 6 stitches through both loops. Then again in our back loop, in our front loop only, we will be doing a single crochet, 2 half double crochets, yarn over, insert, pull through 3, yarn over, insert, pull through 3, and 1 more in our front loop only, single crochet, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Make sure those last 3 are in the front loop only. And then we'll finish with 6 more single crochets. We'll pause here and we are going to insert our safety eyes. So we'll use this, our start and end of our rounds will be the back of our ghost. So we'll just look at the front here, and we will be inserting our 14mm safety eyes between rounds 7 and 8, about 4 or 5 stitches apart. So from the top here, you can count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in this line here, between 7 and 8 is where we're going to insert our safety eyes. You can just place them and move them around, make sure that you like where they're spaced. I like to look from the top and make sure they're even between my little arms. And then we can add in our backs. Make sure they're nice and secure. Okay, for our next round, we will be working our 6 single crochets, and then we'll be working in the back loops of our previous round where we did our front loop only. We will now work in the back loop. So to start, we will do our 6 single crochets first. And here is where we will go to the back loop, our next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. There'll be a back loop from your previous round. You'll insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Then we will go back to our 6 single crochets through both loops. 1, and again into our back loop only from the previous round, 3 single crochets. For our next round, we will be doing single crochets around for a total of 24. Okay, so for our next round, we will be working in the front loop only of all of our stitches for the entire round. And sometimes it can help if you have another stitch marker maybe to mark your back loop only so that you know where to start, because on the next round we will be working in the back loop, the remaining back loop only of this round. Sorry, that sounded a little confusing. It will make more sense as we work through this. But to start, we will be using the front loop only. We're going to do 3 half double crochets in the next stitch. So we yarn over, insert into the front loop only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. I'm going to do that 2 more times in the same stitch. And again, now I'm going to use my stitch marker and I'm going to mark that back loop just to make it a little bit easier when we work our next round. We're going to skip this next 1 stitch and we are going to slip stitch into the next stitch in the front loop only. So you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. You're going to repeat your 3 half double crochets in the next stitch. And we're going to skip and then slip stitch into the next front loop only. You can repeat that pattern 6 more times. All right, so this is where we will now be going to the inside and looking at this back loop only from the previous round for our next round. It can be a little bit hard to see sometimes when your yarn is all white, but you're always going to use your hook to feel around. There'll always be this loose kind of loop that you should be able to just sort of push your hook underneath. That should help you find what you're looking for. So in this back loop only for our next round, you're going to do a single crochet and then a decrease pattern all the way around. So first, in our first stitch, we will insert into that back loop only and do 1 single crochet. And then our next is going to be a decrease. So you will do insert your hook, yarn, insert, yarn over, pull through, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. Our next stitch will be a single crochet. And then our next, we will insert, yarn over, insert the next stitch, yarn over, and then yarn over, pull through 3. You're going to repeat that pattern around for a total of 16. Just completing this last decrease. Sometimes this very last stitch, back loop only, can be a little tricky to find because it crosses over a little when you've started that next round. So you just have to sort of dig in behind a little from this last stitch because it just pulls a little bit tight and gets a little hidden, but it is there. Now is a great place to take a little pause and start stuffing our ghost. To stuff our ghost, you want to make sure that everything gets nice and round. You don't want anything getting kind of lopsided. So I like to start with just inserting a little bit of stuffing to start. And then I take my fingers and I pull it towards the edges while I'm spinning it around. This allows me to make sure that I'm getting stuffing to all sides and keep my ghost shape very round and not lumpy. It also usually makes a little bit of a tunnel down the middle, which I find really helpful for just coming and backfilling some extra stuffing, which gets nice into the top of our little ghostie. Just a little bit more here. You want it to be firm, but you do not want to overstuff it where it is making any of your stitches stretch. Especially if you can see stuffing through, then you've done too much and you need to take some out. Okay, for our last round, we will be doing 8 decreases all the way around. For this round, I use the invisible decrease method, where you'll be working your front loop only of the next 2 stitches to decrease and pull them together. So I like to use the hook and just flip underneath that first loop and go to that next stitch and do the same thing underneath that first loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's my first invisible decrease. I'm going to show you that again. Use my hook to just turn underneath that first loop, and then again for that next stitch under that first loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And I'm going to repeat that 6 more times. All right, after you've completed that 8th decrease, you can cut your yarn, leave a little bit of a tail so that we can sew the hole closed. And then you're just going to fasten off. So you're going to yarn over, pull through, and pull that tail all the way through and pull tight. Before we pull or sew the hole closed, we're just going to finish the stuffing. So first look and make sure that nothing is misshapen or needs extra filling. And then you're just going to backfill in the small amounts at a time. Just push it right out to these edges here on the bottom where our little ghosty fringe is, to make sure that you're getting that nice and full of stuffing before we sew this closed. You do not want to overstuff it because you don't want this bottom to get rounded. You want it to be able to sit flat on the tabletop. But you do want to make sure that you've got stuffing all the way to these edges. I like where I'm at here. So now I'm going to sew closed. I'll just thread my yarn needle here. And I'm going to go from the inside to the outside in the front loop only. And I'm going to go all the way around, pulling tight as I go for my 8 stitches. And it will see as you go, this hole will just keep closing a little bit by little bit until it disappears completely. There you go, pull it tight and it's gone. So then you're just going to weave in your ends. So I like to tuck through the first couple stitches going forward, and then I will turn it around and go backwards. I find that just locks that thread in place really well. And then we're just going to insert our needle into the middle and draw it out through the back or top of your ghost, and you pull that yarn through and trim the edge there. Go. And there we are, our perfect little adorable crochet ghost just in time for Halloween. I can't wait to see all of your finished plushies. Please tag me at Goodies Craft Co. on YouTube and Instagram. I love to see your work, and I hope to see you on my channel again. Bye guys.